Okay, now I would like to explain about the boundary conditions. Okay, this is second unit topic. So first unit already completed. Now today I will start the second unit. This is in second unit. Okay, first the boundary conditions. So the condition existing at the boundary of the two media when field passes from one medium to other are boundary conditions. So generally, if different materials are present, there exists one boundary line. So for example, here this is one medium and this is another medium. Okay, here two mediums are present. So the line between these two mediums, this middle line is called boundary line, and the conditions at this line is called boundary conditions. So boundary conditions means the conditions at this line. If two different mediums are present, then there exists a boundary line. So at that line we have to find some conditions. So that conditions are called boundary conditions. So there are different boundary conditions. So based on the type of mediums. So first one, the boundary between two different dielectric materials. If these two materials are dielectric materials, in that case the conditions, the boundary conditions, okay, that is called the boundary between two different dielectric materials. So next another one, the boundary between conductor and free space. So free space also one type of dielectric material. So the second one is also called as the boundary between conductor and dielectric materials. So to find the boundary conditions, two equations are required. First one, conservative of electric field, second one, Gauss law. So we know that the conservative of electric field expression, closed line integral E bar dot dl bar equals to 0. So by using the above equation, we can find the relation between the tangential components. Okay, to find the relation between tangential components, so we have to use the conservative of electric field. So relation, so closed line integral E bar dot dl bar equals to 0. So next one, Gauss law. So Gauss law equation, we know that closed surface integral d bar dot ds bar equals to q enclosed. This is Gauss law. So by using this Gauss law, we can find the relation between the normal components. Okay, generally any vector having two components. Every vector having two components, normal component and tangential component. So we know that the electric field intensity and electric flux density, E bar and D bar, both are vector quantities. So E bar having the tangential and normal component. Similarly, D bar also having the tangential and normal components. So any vector equals to the normal component plus tangential component. So for example, electric field intensity vector E bar equals to, okay, E tan means the tangential component of electric field intensity, En means the normal components of electric field intensity. So we can write electric field intensity vector E bar equals to E tan bar plus En bar. So first one, the boundary conditions between two perfect dielectric materials. Okay, so boundary conditions between two perfect dielectric materials. Here, so we are selecting two different dielectric materials. This is first dielectric material, okay, top one, and this bottom one, second dielectric material. So different dielectric materials means these materials are having different electrical permittivities. If a dielectric material is having same permittivities, so that materials are same dielectric materials. If the dielectric materials are having different permittivities, then the dielectric materials are different dielectric materials. So based on the electrical permittivity, we can say, so that are same dielectric materials or different dielectric materials. So here we are selecting two different dielectric materials. So first dielectric material, permittivity value equals to epsilon 1. Second dielectric material, permittivity value equals to epsilon 2. So next one, so here, so by using conservative of electric field, so we can find the relation between the tangential component of electric field intensities and electric flux densities. So tangential components means E tan and D tan. So in first dielectric material, the tangential component is represented by E tan 1. So similarly, the electric flux density represented by D tan 1. In second dielectric material, the tangential component of electric field intensity represented by E tan 2. Electric flux density represented by D tan 2. So by using conservative of electric field, we can find the relation between E tan 1 and E tan 2, D tan 1 and D tan 2. So similarly, by using Gauss law, we can find the normal components relation. So normal components of electric field intensity En1, En2. So similarly, normal components of electric flux density Dn1 and Dn2. In first material, normal components are En1, Dn1. In second material, normal components are En2, Dn2. So first, by using Gauss law, we can find the relation between Dn1 and Dn2. Next, by using that relation, we can find the relation between En1 and En2. Okay, boundary conditions between two perfect dielectric materials. So E bar and D bar. So both are vector, both are having tangential and normal components. So E bar equals to E tan 1 bar, E tan bar plus En bar. D bar equals to D tan bar plus Dn bar. So this is boundary line. In normal direction means perpendicular direction components are called normal components. So parallel direction components are called tangential components. So this is tangential component in first material. So it is represented by E tan 1. So this is tangential component in second material represented by E tan 2. So next one. So these are En1, En2. So perpendicular components En1 and En2, electric field intensity normal components in first material and in second material. So similarly, tangential components of electric flux density D tan 1, D tan 2, parallel components are tangential components. So this is first material, so it is represented by D tan 1, and this is second material, it is represented by D tan 2. Similarly, normal components, first material normal component of electric flux density Dn1, second material normal component of electric flux density Dn2. So in medium 1, so total electric field intensity E1 bar equals to E tan 1 bar plus En1 bar. And similarly, D1 bar equals to D tan 1 bar plus Dn1 bar. In medium 2, total electric field intensity E2 bar equals to E tan 2 plus En2, D2 equals to D tan 2 plus Dn2. So any vector equals to the vector sum of the tangential and normal component vectors. So in first material, electric field intensity, electric flux density represented by E1 bar, D1 bar. In second material, electric field intensity E2 bar, electric flux density D2 bar. So every vector having tangential and normal components. If it is in first medium, so we can represent suffix 1. If it is in second material, we can represent it by suffix 2. Okay. So now the relation between tangential components. So to find the relation between tangential components, so we have to use the conservative of electric field. The tangential components relation means E tan 1, E tan 2 relation, D tan 1, D tan 2 relation. So to find this tangential components relation, so we can use the conservative of electric field equation. Here assume one rectangular path, rectangular closed path at boundary. So here ABCD one rectangular closed path. So now we are applying the conservative of electric field in ABCDA direction. Okay, to apply conservative of electric field, so we have to select one closed path. Here we are selecting rectangular closed path ABCDA. So now apply conservative of electric field along the ABCDA rectangular path. So conservative of electric field equation, closed line integral E bar dot dl bar equals to 0. So here this is rectangular path, it having four sides AB, BC, CD and DA. So we can divide this integration, total closed path integration by four parts. Okay, first one, integral AB E bar dot dl bar plus integral BC E bar dot dl bar plus integral CD E bar dot dl bar plus integral DA E bar dot dl bar equals to 0. So this is total closed path. So first part integral AB, second part integral BC, third part integral CD, fourth part integral DA. So E bar dot dl bar equals to 0. So first one integral AB part. So now separately we have to find these four parts. So next by substituting these four terms in the above equation, so finally we get the relation between tangential components of electric field intensities. Okay. So first one integral AB E bar dot dl bar. So first integral AB, this AB cell lies on medium 1 and AB parallel to the boundary. So in this direction the component is tangential component. So in AB direction the electric field intensity equals to E tan 1. So next AB length equals to delta W. So we are assuming this height of the rectangle equals to delta h and width of the rectangle equals to delta w. So integral AB e bar dot dl bar equals to, in AB integration the e bar equals to e tan 1 and integral dl equals to delta w. Okay, integral AB e bar dot dl bar. So AB side lies in medium 1 and AB parallel to boundary. So in AB e bar equals to e tan 1 and integral dl bar means AB total length. So we are taking AB length equals to delta w. So it equals to delta w. So plus next one integral BC plus integral CD. At a time we can find these two. So integral BC, next one integral dA. Integral BC, next integral dA. So these two depends on the height of the rectangular. Okay, height of the rectangular. So here we are finding the boundary conditions at boundary line. Boundary conditions at this boundary line. So the boundary line width approximately equals to 0. So at boundary, if we find these two integrations, integral BC and integral dA. So the boundary height approximately equals to 0. So at boundary line, the delta h value tends to 0. So it means integral dl bar in BC and in dA equals to 0. So automatically the second term and fourth term becomes 0. So because at boundary the delta h value tends to 0. Okay, in BC e bar dot dl bar. So second term integral B to C e bar dot dl bar. So in BC integral dl bar equals to 0. Okay, in BC side integral dl bar equals to delta h. So at boundary line only, so we are finding the conditions. So at boundary line the delta h value tends to 0. So its width is very small, so approximately equals to 0. Boundary line width approximately equals to 0. So delta h value tends to 0. So integral BC length equals to 0. Integral BC dl bar equals to 0. Similarly integral dA dl bar equals to 0. So this second term and fourth term becomes 0. So integral BC e bar dot dl bar equals to integral dA e bar dot dl bar equals to 0. So because at boundary delta h tends to 0. So next one, this third term integral CD e bar dot dl bar. So first to see integral CD. The CD side lies in second medium and CD parallel to this boundary line. So CD direction and E tan 2 direction in opposite direction. So integral e bar dot dl bar in CD side. Okay, integral CD e bar dot dl bar equals to minus E tan 2 and integral CD dl bar equals to delta w. Okay, in CD side, so this is CD direction and this is E tan 2 direction. So both are in opposite direction. So we have to find in CD direction the electric field intensity. So integral CD side the electric field intensity equals to minus E tan 2 and integral CD length equals to delta w. So the width of the rectangle equals to delta w. So integral CD dl equals to delta w. So this third term in CD side E bar equals to minus E tan 2 and integral CD dl bar equals to delta w. So the above equation becomes E tan 1 into delta w plus second term equals to 0 minus E tan 2 into delta w plus 0, it equals to 0. So from this equation we can write E tan 1 minus E tan 2 into delta w equals to 0 and E tan 1 minus E tan 2 equals to 0. Finally E tan 1 equals to E tan 2. So it means at boundary line the tangential components of electric field intensities are same. Okay, if the two dielectric materials are present, the boundary of the two dielectric materials, at the boundary of the two dielectric materials, the tangential components of electric field intensities are same. E tan 1 equals to E tan 2. So next we know that relation between d bar and d bar equals to epsilon E bar. So or E equals to d by epsilon. D bar equals to epsilon into E bar or E equals to d by epsilon. So E tan 1 equals to d tan 1 by epsilon 1. E tan 2 equals to d tan 2 by epsilon 2. So from this relation we can write d tan 1 by d tan 2 equals to epsilon 1 by epsilon 2. Epsilon equals to epsilon naught into epsilon r. So epsilon 1 equals to epsilon naught into epsilon r1. Epsilon 2 equals to epsilon naught into epsilon r2. So epsilon naught to epsilon naught cancel. So finally it equals to epsilon r1 by epsilon r2. Okay, d tan 1 by d tan 2 equals to epsilon 1 by epsilon 2, it equals to epsilon r1 by epsilon r2. Okay, the first boundary condition E tan 1 equals to E tan 2, and second boundary condition d tan 1 by d tan 2 equals to epsilon 1 by epsilon 2 or epsilon r1 by epsilon r2. Okay, next one, the relation between normal components. So to find the relation between normal components we have to use the Gauss law. So we know that Gauss law, mathematical expression, closed surface integration d bar dot ds bar equals to 0. So to find the normal components relation, so consider a cylindrical Gaussian surface. So this is one cylindrical Gaussian surface at boundary. So now by applying Gauss law to the cylindrical surface, so finally we get the normal components relation. So here tangential components d tan 1, d tan 2, normal components dn1 and dn2. Okay, this is boundary line. Middle line is boundary line. So the cylinder having three surfaces: top surface, bottom surface and side surface. So we know that the Gauss law formula, closed surface integral d bar dot ds bar equals to 0. So here closed surface having three surfaces: top surface, bottom surface and side surface. So total integration we can divide into three parts. So top surface integration, bottom surface integration and side surface integration. So first this is Gauss law equation, and here we are selecting cylindrical Gaussian surface. So the cylinder having three surfaces. So first one, top surface d bar dot ds bar plus side surface d bar dot ds bar plus bottom surface d bar dot ds bar equals to 0. So next one, so we have to find these three terms separately: top surface, side surface and bottom surface. So first to see top surface. So the top surface lies in medium 1. Top surface lies in medium 1. So top surface electric flux density equals to dn1. So next, top surface area. So assume the cylinder top and bottom surface area is equals to delta s, and the height of the cylinder equals to delta h. So if top surface lies in medium 1 and the top surface area equals to delta s, top surface electric flux density equals to dn1. So first term in integration equals to dn1 into delta s. Okay. So next one, second one, side surface. So in previous case, here also at boundary line the delta h value tends to 0. If delta h value tends to 0, the side surface equals to 0. If side surface area equals to 0, automatically the second term becomes 0. So second term becomes 0. So next one, third one, the bottom surface integration d bar dot ds bar. So first this bottom surface lies in second medium, and this bottom surface electric flux density component equals to normal component. So it can be represented by dn2. So here we are assuming if the flux lines are leaving from the surface, we are taking it is positive. If it is entering, negative. We can take any one direction. Here we are assuming if the flux lines are leaving, so we are taking positive sign. If the flux lines are entering, we are taking negative sign. Here we are already taken dn1 positive. So dn2 is entering into surface, dn1 leaving from the surface, dn1 already we have taken positive. So dn2, so now we have to take dn2 negative sign. So in bottom surface the electric flux density equals to minus dn2 and this area equals to delta s. So third term becomes minus dn2 into delta s equals to 0. Or we can take this is minus dn1 and it is plus dn2. Any one direction we have to assume. So here we are assuming in leaving direction positive, if the flux density is entering, negative. So dn1 into delta s plus 0 minus dn2 into delta s equals to 0. So here the side surface integration d bar dot ds bar equals to 0, because it boundary delta h value equals to 0, automatically the second term becomes 0. Now this equation becomes dn1 delta s minus dn2 delta s equals to 0, or dn1 minus dn2 equal into delta s equals to 0, or dn1 minus dn2 equals to 0. So final equation dn1 minus dn2. This is equation number 3. So this is the relation between the normal components of electric flux densities. It states that, say at boundary line, the normal components of electric flux densities are seen. So next, by using this relation, we can find the normal components of electric field intensity relation. So we know that relation D equals to epsilon into E. So dn1 equals to epsilon 1 into en1, dn2 equals to epsilon 2 into en2, or en1 by en2 equals to epsilon 2 by epsilon 1. Epsilon 2 equals to epsilon naught into epsilon r2, epsilon 1 equals to epsilon naught into epsilon r1, epsilon equals to epsilon naught into epsilon r. So epsilon 2 equals to epsilon naught into epsilon r2, epsilon 1 equals to epsilon naught into epsilon r1. So it equals to epsilon r2 by epsilon r1. So finally equation en1 by en2 equals to epsilon 2 by epsilon 1, it equals to epsilon r2 by epsilon r1. So these are the 4 boundary conditions. This is the 4th one. So first boundary condition, E tan 1 equals to E tan 2. Second boundary condition, D tan 1 by D tan 2 equals to epsilon 1 by epsilon 2 or epsilon r1 by epsilon r2. Third boundary condition, dn1 equals to dn2. Fourth boundary condition, en1 by en2 equals to epsilon r2 by epsilon r1. Some first and 3 boundary conditions, we can say that at boundary line, the normal components of electric flux densities are seen and the tangential components of electric field intensities are seen. At boundary line, the tangential components of electric field intensities are same and the normal components of electric flux densities are same. So next or last one, the refraction of d bar at the boundary. Okay. So this is the boundary line, second material, and this is first material. So refraction means here d2. So d2, okay, d2 in second dielectric material and d1 in first dielectric material. So d2 entering into, okay, while d2 entering into first material, it changes its direction